everyone. Welcome back to our little series on aspect ratio. Today, we're going to be talking about the aspect ratio 2.35 to 1, used interchangeably with 2.39 to 1, sometimes rounded up to 2.4 to 1. What do those numbers mean? What do those mean, Ethan?
I'm having trouble over here figuring it out. What do these mean? Okay, just kidding. No. Those numbers, what do those numbers mean?
Well, the numbers, again, these are ratios, right? So the 1 represents the side of the screen. So your
Yes, it
horizontal,
does.
your vertical lines.
So
The first numbers represent the top and bottom lines. But what does it look like?
wide.
Wide.
It looks like wide.
Wide.
Not like wide, but wide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're watching this on a TV at home, and a movie shot on 235 to 1 or 239 to 1, it will probably have black bars on the top and the bottom of the screen, depending on your TV size. And that's just become the standard for movies in America, usually.
It's the blockbuster look.
It's the blockbuster look. And that's really because blockbusters and big movies started using it. A little bit of history from someone who is not a historian at all. Movies used to be 4:3, and we'll get into that in a future episode. And so the images were a lot more square. And so once the TV was invented, right, you had a square-looking TV, a 4:3 TV size. So to kind of differentiate themselves from TV, theaters and movie studios, they started using widescreen. So it would be this draw to come to the theater. So they would have a really wide image. And so the widescreen kind of came about really to differentiate itself from the TV, which was in people's homes. They wanted to give people a reason to go to the theater. And so because of that, I think we associate movies with those black bars, and we associate movies with that widescreen image.
Yeah. So ways that you could achieve this look for your movie, if you're wanting to make this your look, there's kind of two ways that you'll see. The more common way you'll see is people will actually crop their image in so that it looks like it's shot on a wide screen. So if you're shooting 16 by 9, which is what most digital cameras are shooting in, you're just bringing the tops down so you have a narrower field of view. That's the cheap way. The expensive way, if you've done any research on anamorphic lenses, you know that they ain't cheap. If you're budgeting for a movie and you want that look, you know that that's where your money is going, is these lenses that basically distort your image to make it look taller and a little wider. And then in post, you're squeezing that image down to make everything look correct. And that's going to give you that 235, 239 look. Yeah, so that's a cool way to do it. That'll give you some major style points with all the DPs out there, and it'll give you cool, lens flares, the whole thing. J.J. Abrams will love you, but your wallet will not, because dang, it's expensive.
And honestly, some people will give you crap for doing it the fake way, where you just literally you cut off the top or bottom, or you squish it in. But honestly, anyone can use this aspect ratio. We've used it before. We've known other kind of filmmakers who do that before, and it's the fake way. But it's just this. Again, this is just the size of the image.
And it's the look you're going for. You're going for the feel, and if that's the way you achieve it, then you've done your job. I don't think there's, calling it the fake way is, yeah. What is fake?
Yeah, exactly. And it's really great, because I feel that too. When I see a movie and maybe it crops in all of a sudden, or maybe it just has that widescreen look, it feels like a movie. It feels like I'm going to go and watch this big kind of professional looking thing. So I think a lot of people are drawn to the size and the shape of 239 or 235 because it feels like a movie. And if you're kind of lower budget, or if you're kind of working on the smaller scale like we are, we don't have money for lenses, but just squishing our image a little bit or cropping out the top and bottom makes it feel a little bit more like a movie. And this is just that cherry on top, I think.
Yeah.
If you're going for that cinematic look.
It's just polish.
And that's what this size is really good for, is making it feel a lot more like a movie.
Yeah. So that being said, we're going to recommend some movies that we think, use this aspect ratio for one reason or another really well. I'll start us off here.
Yeah.
Transformers. That is like, in my mind, the blockbuster. And while everyone has their opinion on that movie, what I think the aspect ratio of it being 2.35 to 1, why it works so well for that is, your frame is cropped in, it's shorter on the top, and you're filming these giant robots that are blowing everything up and have these massive fights. And I think what's so cool about that aspect ratio is it's so hard to keep them in frame because they're so tall, so you have to constantly be panning up to them and seeing them. So having these larger than life moments, that aspect ratio really like kind of adds to it, because you're just trying to squeeze everything into that shot. So Transformers, it's a cool movie. I recommend it if you want some good 2.35 to 1 video-ness.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my recommendation would be Man of Steel. I think that's a movie where, Zack Snyder's known as one of those directors who really makes really cinematic looking shots and images, who really collaborates with his DPs and his cinematographers a whole lot, and gets really like great, clean, really dramatic cinematic images. And what's different about Man of Steel is it's very visually, it's very different because it's a shot like a documentary. The colors are very cold. There's still dynamic range and everything, but it's very has a much more kind of real world documentary feel. And it's a movie where if you're going for that kind of documentary feel, you don't necessarily think, widescreen is the way to do it. But the combination of widescreen, that 2.35 look, with the kind of documentary handheld feel is really interesting to see, and I think it works really well.
So thank you guys for sitting with us as we talk about some aspect ratios, and we look forward to diving more and more into the strange and weird aspect ratios in the next couple of weeks. But today we got to look at the cool, exciting cinematic 2.35 and 2.39. So we'll see you next time. Make sure to like and subscribe and stick around for everything we have coming out here, and we'll see you later.